Welcome to the April's Lookup in its new format, so I don't have to cram everything in a time limit of a short, and you get bonus stargazing opportunities at the end. After cloudy February, March was great with its lunar eclipse, super bloom, and even equinox aurora. What to look up for in April? Oh, before we get into April, last month with your help I did a project to show how total lunar eclipse looked from different places, so I'll have the results at the end, and let's continue with another astronomical event this month where the whole world can participate. April is filled with planetary action, first decent meteor shower, and not one but two full moons, if you're into that. And no, this is not a bad April's Fool's joke. We start the month with the first full moon on the night of the 1st to the 2nd. It is called pink moon, but that has nothing to do with the color of the moon. It is named after phlox flowers that are blooming in the northern hemisphere at that time. And if you are going to see the full moon rising and it is pink, that's because it is opposite of the setting sun. And that's happen every month. The following night we have the Mercury's greatest elongation in the morning hours. This is the best time to see the planet as it is the farthest from the sun and the highest in our sky. The next week moon is getting smaller and smaller and rising later and later, which is good time for the evening stargazing. This is when fainter parts of the Milky Way with bright constellations of Winter Circle set early in the evening to the west. In addition to Jupiter and Gemini, our brightest planet Venus is joining them between Aries and Taurus constellations. Week of the 13th to the 19th, we have International Dark Sky Week. That's an annual event to celebrate the beauty of the night sky and raise awareness of light pollution. To find out more how unshielded and unnecessary light affect not only stargazing but also human health, wildlife, and environment, check out Dark Sky International. And on their website, you should also be able to find stargazing events near you. April is one of those few months that gives us best of both worlds because as winter part of the Milky Ways are setting, bright summer parts of the Milky Way are rising, and this month earlier and earlier after midnight. In addition, in the morning of the 15th before the sunrise, those with clear horizon may able to make out Mercury, Mars and Saturn underneath the thin 5% moon. It will be already bright from the sun and planets are getting washed out, so binoculars may be helpful. The new moon is on the night of the 16th to the 17th, and to conclude Dark Sky Week, we have two Venus and crescent moon close approaches on the evenings of the 18th and the 19th. And if you wake up around 5 a.m., you have a triple conjunction of Mars, Saturn, and Mercury, but this time with Mercury on the bottom. But again, it will be challenged to see them. The evening of the 20th, 18% crescent waxing moon joins Jupiter and Venus in Winter Circle. The next night, 21st to the 22nd, we have a peak of Lyrit's meteor shower with maximum of 17 meteors per hour, and another decent night after that with 15. If you go out in the evening and don't see anything, don't get discouraged. This meteor shower is peaking in the morning when the constellation Lyra, from which the meteors originate, rises and climbs higher and higher in our sky. It is located right above the Milky Way arch. Personally, I never had much luck with this meteor shower, and with many smaller ones, I'll be very happy to see as many meteors as are predicted in a peak during the whole night. Couple nights later, on an evening of the 24th and 25th, Venus is making close approach with the Pleiades star cluster, but bright moon will wash many stars at this point. We are wrapping up the month with a second full moon on the night of the 30th to May 1st. And now for those bonus stargazing opportunities. Last month I mentioned a good comet possibility. Well, there's actually two of them. Our first visitor, C2026 A1 MAPS, is making close approach to the Sun on April 3rd. The days around it will be good time to see the comet, but it's really close to the Sun, so you have to have really clear west horizon, and it may be challenging still. Our second dirty ice ball for the month is C2025 R3 Panstar. This one should be best third week of the month, but we are still far out, so I'll get you more details in my Instagram stories where lookup originated. Let's hope for bright comets surviving the journey to us and not breaking apart. And second stargazing bonus I have for you is long-term aurora forecast. We do have two dates with possible KP6, and that's the 10th and the 18th. But the sun activity is even less predictable than a comet. The sunspots that we currently have may get less active, and we may have new CMEs that sun is sending our way. Within the last couple of weeks, we've had two KP6 plus forecasts that ended up being only KP1 or even 0. But still, those days are something to keep in mind. If you are into deep space, this is the last call for winter nebulas full of beautiful hydrogen gases. And we welcome the galaxy season with a lot of opportunities in Leo and Virgo constellations that will be with us for hours into the night. Another great constellation to explore around is Ursa Major. And even for those in lower latitudes like me, this is the time where the Big Dipper is not dipping under the horizon. If you're curious how I took those deep space photos, I put a info on it in a description. At the beginning, I promised you the results of our eclipse around half of the world. So here are the results, and thank you for everyone who sent their photos in. I really enjoy seeing the moon upside down from southern hemisphere. This month, let's do it again. And I think Venus and Moon conjunction will be a great subject. Nice, easy, you don't need fancy equipment to capture that. And it's conveniently in the evening. And let's also do one more, a bit challenging event, that's Lurid Meteor Shower. To participate, you can tag me in your photos on Instagram, that's Nathaniel with no H, Nathaniel's Art, ART for Astro Road Trips, and you can also mention lookup in the description so I know this is not just somebody randomly tagging me. That happens. And bonus for those who put your location or part of the world, doesn't have to be super exact, and your name or your Instagram username, however you'd like to be credited on a photo itself. That's it I have for you for this month. Good luck with the weather.